Kombatan is a Filipino martial arts system. The founder of the system was GGM Ernesto Amador Priesas 10th Dan. The current head of the system is Ernesto Priesas Jr. The style is known for its double stick techniques, but it features other stick and blade techniques, as well as empty hand methods. Ernesto A. Priesas Sr. was born in the coastal town of Hinaguaran, Negros Occidental on May 20, 1945. At age 8 he began his martial arts training under his father, Jose Priesas, a well-known Eskrima practitioner at that time. He went on to be an athlete in his college years, participating in various sports. His training in the martial arts is eclectic, having studied judo, jujutsu, karate, and various forms of Filipino and Japanese weaponry. He was Lakan Sampu 10th Dan in Arnis and mano-mano hand-to-hand combat and Lakan Walo 8th Dan in Philippine weaponry. Remy Priesas recognized that the classical arts of their country were losing their appeal and therefore slowly dying. He modernized the native arts into an effective fighting system that would be appealing to martial arts students living in modern Filipino society and called it modern Arnis. His dream to reintroduce the native arts led to the development of modern Arnis. Ernesto Priesas continued the work after his brother emigrated to the U.S. in 1975. He changed his version of the art a lot in the 90s and then he rechristened his version of the art to the name of Kombatan, Filipino Martial Arts FMA Filipino, sinning panlaban ng Pilipinas refer to ancient and newer modified fighting methods devised in the Philippines. It incorporates elements from both Western and Eastern martial arts, the most popular forms of which are known as Arnis, Eskrima, and Kali. The intrinsic need for self-preservation was the genesis of these systems. Throughout the ages, invaders and evolving local conflict imposed new dynamics for combat in the islands now making up the Philippines. The Filipino people develop battle skills as a direct result of an appreciation of their ever-changing circumstances. They learn often out of necessity how to prioritize, allocate and use common resources in combative situations. Filipinos have been heavily influenced by a phenomenon of cultural and linguistic mixture. Some of the specific mechanisms responsible for cultural and martial change extended from phenomena such as war, political and social systems, technology, trade and practicality. There have been numerous scholarly calls on the inclusion of the many martial arts of the Philippines into the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage lists. As of 2019, a total of 9 elements scattered in 8 countries, such as Thailand, Georgia, and Korea, have successfully inscribed their martial arts in the UNESCO list. In the 12th century, martial arts influence from the Indonesian martial arts culture reached the islands. At this time, the islands also had culture influences from Cambodia and Thailand. 3. A native martial arts called Arnis de Mano started to exist by the 14th century. Arnis is characterized as saber play that uses a pair of rattan canes or short wooden canes. Ancient Filipinos were considered skilled in dagger and the broadsword before the Spanish colonization of the Philippines. Silat is another native martial art of the Philippines. It uses daggers and sabers. Silat was popular among the royal families of the south and Muslim area of the country. There are also fighting systems such as Sikorn and Kunta. Kunta is considered on the verge of being extinct. Sikorn is an old style that is popular in the areas around Manila. The competition of Sikorn involved 2 teams or individuals in the area of a rice paddy in the time of dry season. Filipino martial artists are noted for their ability to fight with weapons or empty hands interchangeably and their ability to turn ordinary household items into lethal weapons. Weapons training takes precedence because they give an edge in real fights, gears students to psychologically face armed opponents, and any object that can be picked up can be used as a weapon using FMA techniques. Empty hand training techniques are translated from the use of the daga dagger or baston. Traditional weaponry varies in design, size, weight, materials, and the way these weapons are used. But because of similar techniques, Filipinos can use any object and turn into a weapon by a Filipino martial artist as a force multiplier.